What if the people you gave everything to never intended to give anything back? When we were little, Samantha would sneak into my room with her blanket, whispering, "You're the only one who makes me feel safe." I believed her, and part of me still wants to. We used to share a room with a wall of glow-in-the-dark stars. At night, we'd whisper stories, ghost tales, dream jobs, which boy in 6th grade had the best smile. She once made me a birthday card with 23 paper hearts and said, "You're the only person who doesn't make me feel stupid." Those memories still live in me, no matter how lost we've become. But love, I learned, isn't always a fair ledger. I showed up, through sleepless nights, drained accounts, a heart pleading to be seen, certain my devotion would be enough. I was wrong, and the truth broke me open. It was a gray Saturday in Salem, Oregon, the Willamette River glinting under heavy clouds. I pulled into my parents' red brick home on Elm Street, the porch swing creaking like a childhood lullaby. I'd painted those walls ivory, grouted tiles until my knees ached, saved the house from foreclosure twice, each check a silent prayer for gratitude. Love doesn't always see you. Sometimes it's cruelly blind. My mom, Denise, greeted me with a tired smile, hands dusted with orchid soil. "Emily, sort these, will you?" she said, handing me papers before slipping outside, her humming blending with Folger's coffee scent and Wheel of Fortune's buzz on the TV. She didn't know she'd handed me a wound. I sat at the oak dining table, scratched from Thanksgiving dinners, Dad carving turkey, Mom teaching me to braid Samantha's hair, her giggles a fleeting warmth. Among receipts, I found a cream-colored envelope, estate plan and will. Duty made me open it. I'd always been the fixer, holding the roof up. But this wasn't a mess. It was a betrayal, sharp as a knife. The house, worth $450,000. The SUV I'd co-signed. Mom's savings. Her wedding ring, glinting through their storms. All to Samantha, my younger sister. My name? One line. Asterisk, we love both our daughters. Asterisk. I was the foundation they walked on, unseen, uncherished. My chest tightened, tears burning, as memories flooded. Planting clematis with Mom, my muddy hands proud at 10. Dad steadying my bike, his cheers a rare light. Every payment, every midnight drive for Mom's pills, erased by cold ink. Mom re-entered, humming softly. "Emily, did you?" I stood, the will trembling, my voice steady but raw. "Mom, is this real?" Her eyes flickered, hands twisting her sweater. "Oh, Emily, we didn't mean." "What did you mean?" I asked, each word a shard of my heart. Dad shuffled in, his lazy boy creaking. "You're fine, Emily. Samantha needs us more." I laughed, hollow, tearing through me. "She's 30. I kept this house alive while she chased Instagram dreams." Mom reached for me, trembling. "We wanted Samantha safe, sweetheart." I stepped back, the girl who gave everything crumbling. "And what about me?" Silence fell, heavy as Salem's rain, drowning my hope. I laid the will down, a verdict sealed. "Thank you for showing me where I stand." I walked out, the doors click final. No one called my name. I didn't walk away to hurt them. I walked away to save myself. The damp air stung, the house a shadow of broken promises. But in that emptiness, a spark flickered, a chance to rebuild, free of their weight. How long can you carry a family before they forget your name? I drove along the Willamette, past Riverfront Park, where Mom and I fed ducks, her laughter brighter than sunlight. No radio played, no Johnny Cash ballads from Dad's old station. Just a hollow ache, betrayal wearing their faces, clawing my heart. I prayed it was a mistake. But the ink was dry, the wound deep. In my small apartment, rent a struggle because I'd paid their bills, I opened my laptop. Every receipt, every wire transfer, every asterisk. "Emily, can you cover this?" Asterisk text glowed like scars I hadn't known I carried. I was invisible, sentenced by those I loved most. 2 weeks passed in silence. No calls, no apologies, as if I hadn't bared my heart. Dad texted, cold as winter. Asterisk, "Emily, mortgage due Friday, $2,900? Asterisk. I stared, breath catching, then laughed. Bitter, broken. I heard his voice, scolding me at 12 for an unlocked door. My fingers trembled. Asterisk. Samantha can handle it. It's her house now. Asterisk. Samantha texted. Asterisk. You're overreacting. You're independent. I'm not. Asterisk. Independent? I'd paid her phone bill since she was 24, fixed her car, covered her Vegas debts, her laughter a cruel echo. I replied, heart heavy. Asterisk. Prove you deserve it. Start with the mortgage. Asterisk. Mom sent a $2,900 request, no words, like I was a switch to flip. I declined, tears falling, resolve ironclad. Her voicemail trembled. Asterisk. Emily. Why did you decline? Asterisk. I typed, hands steady. Asterisk. It's not my responsibility. Ask Samantha. Asterisk. A letter arrived, Mom's handwriting shaky. Asterisk. Remember planting clematis? Your smile lit the yard. Asterisk. I clutched it, tears welling, until. Asterisk. We need you. The bank's calling. Asterisk. It wasn't love. It was a chain, cloaked in memory. I tore it up, pieces falling like my illusions. That moment carved a boundary, not in anger, but aching clarity. I wasn't their lifeline anymore. I walked to a camera shop, the $2,900 I didn't send burning in my pocket. My hands shook as I held a new lens, its weight a promise, its glass catching the light like a second chance. At Riverfront Park, under a golden sunset, I snapped photos of leaves, birds singing, the weight of their needs melting away. Each click was a rebellion, a vow that my life was mine. I am not who they forgot. I am who I've become. How many times can you say yes before you disappear? My apartment glowed softly, Salem's rain pattering outside. I sipped coffee, no Wheel of Fortune hum, just a morning I owned. My heart felt lighter, a bird taking flight. I am not who they forgot. I am who I've become. I called the bank to remove my name from the mortgage. Are you sure? The clerk asked. I'm sure, I said, a vow. That's the point. I canceled their utilities, gas, water, internet. I deleted their logins, due dates, each tap a thread snapping. The silence wasn't empty. It was a canvas for my life. They didn't know I'd been their foundation. I baked Mom's chocolate chip cookies, their scent wrapping me in her kitchen's warmth. Each bite was a promise. I deserve sweetness, too. Mom texted. Asterisk. The internet's off. Samantha's lost. Asterisk. I didn't reply, picturing Mom's worried eyes, my heart twinging. I'd become a ghost, seen only when useful. My notebook, with their numbers, sat untouched. I left it, its weight no longer mine. Lorraine called. Samantha was at the bank, papers scattered, tears falling. Do you think she'll ever see me? I asked, voice small. Lorraine stirred her tea, smiling gently. Maybe not. But you were meant to see yourself. I pictured my sister, lost, and hoped she'd find strength. The people we love most often carry the sharpest edges. I just finished teaching photography at the Salem Community Center, students' laughter a bomb, when I saw the silver minivan I'd co-signed for Dad. It sat in my parking lot, a ghost of my sacrifices, heavy on my heart. Mom, Dad, and Samantha stood by my apartment, faces worn, eyes heavy with fear. I walked toward them, step steady, heart pounding with lost years' grief. Mom spoke, voice breaking, tissue crumpled. Emily, the bank's coming. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. We made a mistake, Dad said, eyes down. Your mother can't lose the house. Then you should have thought of that, I said, raw but calm, before you erased me from your will. Dad fidgeted. You're so strong, Emily. I turned to Samantha, clutching her purse. And Samantha? She gets everything while I gave my life. Mom's tears fell, a plea. We thought it would work out, darling. I stepped back, heart aching. You're here. Listen. They went quiet, rain scent in the air. I didn't say no because I can't help. I said no because nothing changes if I do. Samantha whispered, Voice cracked. I thought it needed time. Time, I said, her childhood whispers echoing. I gave time, money, my heart. And I got erased. Mom sobbed. Just a few months, Emily, please. I closed my eyes, their pleas heavy, then opened them. I'm saying no because I love myself, too. Dad whispered. In '08, I lost my job. Samantha was our failure, not you. It wasn't an apology, but it showed a scarred man. My heart softened, but my resolve held. I looked at Samantha. This is your chance to stand. I walked past up the stairs. I'm not your lifeline. I hope you find your way. The door shut, tears falling. Not for them, but for the girl who gave too much. I framed a student's photo, a flower in cracked pavement. It whispered, I could bloom, too. What does it mean to let go when you've held on for so long? Silence settled, a soft blanket over my days. No calls, no pleas. Peace warmed me like a Sunday hymn. I slept deeply, drank coffee to bird songs, not emergencies. The radio played Dad's old country ballads, and I smiled, free. Marcus texted, *, your parents' house is listed, $390,000, foreclosure pending. You okay? *. I saw the porch swing, Mom's clematis, and felt quiet. I'm okay, I replied. Finally. Salem buzzed. The house, held by my paychecks, was for sale, lawn wild, shutters broken. Lorraine called. Samantha's back, groceries in hand, eyes tired. Samantha texted, her words raw. *, I didn't ask to be their favorite. It's heavy, Emily. I just wanted to be your sister again. *. I paused, my heart twisting, not with anger, but with a quiet hope she might find her way. I saw her now, not just as the favored child, but as a woman crushed by their expectations, her own heart aching for the sisterhood we'd lost. No one fixed the fuse box. No one paid the mortgage. That was me once. I journaled, tears staining, *, I'm not their savior. I'm my own. *. I walked Riverfront Park at sunset, the Willamette glowing. I signed up for an editing course, booked a Seattle trip for leaves. My savings grew, a quiet wealth. The house's price fell, $370K, $355,000. My record stayed mine. The Salem Historical Society asked for my notes on the house's 1920s roots. I sent them, for the house, not them. A nonprofit invited me to mentor seniors with housing debt. Tears fell, not pain but purpose. I clicked accept, heart soaring. I thought of the confrontation, my boundary as shield. Enabling berries, not saves. How do you mourn a place that held your heart but broke it? 2. One afternoon, I walked past Elm Street. I didn't stop. But from across the street, I saw the cracked porch, the broken shutters, ghosts of holidays and quiet dinners now faded. I could almost hear Samantha's bike clattering down the driveway, Dad humming Johnny Cash, Mom yelling from the kitchen for us to wash up. The glow-in-the-dark stars on our bedroom wall, our whispered secrets under the covers, they flickered in my mind, sharp and tender. But the silence now wasn't just of a house. It was the silence of something that used to be whole, and now wasn't. That grief doesn't roar. It just lingers. I stood there, the for sale sign leaning crookedly, its price slashed to $355,000. I saw myself in that house, fixing pipes, paying bills, holding it together while it held me hostage. I thought of Samantha, her tired eyes at the bank, her text heavy with regret. My heart ached, not for the house, but for the girls we'd been. I turned away, the Willamette's breeze soft on my face. The house was theirs to lose. I had a life to reclaim. What does peace feel like when you've carried a family's weight for years? It's a Salem morning, sunlight filtering through my window, birds chirping, coffee warm. A faint radio AM crackled. Johnny Cash's I Walk the Line soft in the background. I baked apple pie. It sent a hug from Mom's kitchen. I am not who they forgot. I am who I've become. Closure wasn't apologies. It was passing the house on Elm Street, Its for sale sign faded, grass long, whispering truths I'd carried.
I didn't regret.
My heart was mine. Peace doesn't come when others see your pain. It comes when you no longer need their eyes. I started a blog for invisible caretakers. Ruth wrote, *, your story made me feel known. *, her words warmed me, a light for others. I taught photography, students' smiles brighter than paychecks. Lorraine clapped at my cafe exhibit, arthritis no match for her warmth. Samantha tried fixing the water heater, she whispered. She failed but tried. Do you think they'll ever see me? Asked, voice small. Maybe not, Lorraine said, eyes kind. But you see you. That's enough. An app pinged. * price drop, $320,000, 218 Elm Street. *. I saw the driveway, Mom's singing, Dad's hugs, Samantha's whispers in the dark. I hit * hide. *. The house wasn't home. It was just a house. Freedom isn't loud. It's a morning yours alone. No fear of demands. Ruth emailed, *, your words freed me from my son's weight. *, I wept, my story a bridge. A package arrived. Mom's silver locket, no note. I held it, hearing her hum Amazing Grace, her warmth a fading memory. I kept it, a flawed love released. Sometimes, the quietest goodbyes are the ones that save us. I sat at my kitchen table, Salem's morning light softening the oak's scratches. A blank page stared back, my pen heavy with words I'd carried too long. I twisted the silver ring on my finger, its once broken band welded whole, a quiet mirror of my heart. Dear Mom, * you hurt me. The will wasn't just paper, it was a knife, cutting away years of my love, my sweat, my sleepless nights, keeping your world from falling. *, I wanted your apology, your arms saying you saw me. I never got it. *, but I remember you holding me after my first heartbreak, your voice promising I'd be okay. You made me feel safe, and that memory lives, warm as the clematis we planted. *, I'll always keep that part of you. * you loved me in the only way you knew, flawed, like the locket you sent. I don't hate you. I see you now, a woman with her own wounds, just as I carry mine. *, I don't need your permission to heal. I'm no longer waiting for it. *, I forgive you, not because you asked, but because my heart deserves peace. I'm letting you go, not with anger, but with love for the mother you were and the woman I've become. *, thank you for the memories that still shine. Goodbye, Mom. * I folded the letter, tears falling, not for pain, but for the girl I was reclaiming. I tucked it with the locket, a chapter closed. The porch swing's creak echoed, but it no longer pulled me back. I was free to write my own story. Healing isn't loud. It's the quiet of a letter never sent, a heart at rest. I baked cinnamon rolls, their scent filling my home. As I ate, I smiled, tasting the sweetness of a life I was choosing. How do you find yourself after giving your heart away? I woke to Salem's soft light, birds singing, the Willamette's glow a gentle promise. My days were mine, each a step toward the woman I'd buried. One evening, under a golden lamp, I opened an old photo album, Patsy Cline's Crazy playing softly. Pictures of Mom laughing, Dad's rare smile, Samantha's braids, each page a stitch in my heart, mending what was torn. I cried, not for loss, but for the love that still lived in those moments. On a rainy Sunday, I picked up a ukulele, its strings awkward. Dad strummed his guitar when storms came, singing You Are My Sunshine. I played, off-key but laughing, my heart lighter with each note. I found Mom's reading lamp, chipped from bedtime stories, her voice weaving Charlotte's web. I fixed it, its glow warm, a piece of me reclaimed. Little Clara knocked one Saturday, eyes bright. Can I learn to bake? We made cinnamon rolls, flour dusting her grin, her laughter echoing mine at 8. Healing is passing on the warmth you once received. I showed Clara how to knead dough, her hands eager. In her joy, I saw myself, young and unbroken, my heart mending. I walked Riverfront Park, clematis nodding in the breeze. Each step was a promise, to live, to be enough. The radio played Amazing Grace, and I hummed, not for Mom, but for me. I wasn't just surviving. I was blooming one small moment at a time. Family isn't always the one you're born to, it's the one that sees you. I found my answer in Salem's quiet corners, in faces that saw me as Emily, not a lifeline. My photography students' laughter was a daily gift, their eyes bright with dreams. I twisted my silver ring, its welded band a reminder of my own strength. Lorraine invited me to Women Rebuilding After 60, silver-haired women sharing loss and strength. I was the youngest, but their stories echoed mine, their hands warm around mine. Helen had been a nurse for 40 years before losing her husband and her sense of self. Ruth had raised 5 children alone after her husband vanished. They weren't just women. I saw versions of myself in each of them. Their stories didn't need fixing. They needed to be witnessed. And maybe so did mine. One Sunday, I walked to church, the organ playing softly. 2 elderly couples held hands in the pew, their quiet love a mirror of what I'd lost and found. Tears fell, but I smiled, my heart full. At a church fair, I offered free portraits for seniors. Margaret sat, hands trembling, her shy smile glowing in my lens. "You made me feel seen," she said, tears in her eyes. Sarah, a student, lingered after class, her voice soft. "You remind me of my mom. She always put others first, but never herself." Her words pierced me, a mirror to the woman I'd been, and the one I was becoming. I nodded, tears welling, seeing my own reflection in her eyes. I taught Clara to braid her doll's hair, her giggles filling my apartment, a sound I'd shared with Samantha. In her trust, I found a sisterhood I'd lost. Marcus brought flowers, petals bright on my table. "Your family, Emily," he said. "I am not who they forgot. I am who I've become." The porch swing's creak faded, replaced by a community's hum. I mentored seniors, their nods a mirror of my strength. Ruth visited, her hug warm. "You gave me courage," she said. "My legacy wasn't a house, it was this, a light for others." The bravest thing you can do is say, "I am enough, just as I am." Can a single moment bridge a chasm built by years? A week after my cafe exhibit, a plain envelope slid under my door. Inside was a photo, me and Samantha, ages 6 and 8, in matching pink dresses, frosting on our cheeks from a shared birthday cake. On the back, just 2 lines in her handwriting. Asterisk, "You were always the strong one. I'm sorry I never said it then." Asterisk. No name, but I knew. I didn't cry. I smiled, setting the photo next to Clara's drawing on my fridge. Maybe she was still lost, but maybe she'd finally looked back. I thought of our glow-in-the-dark stars, her small hand in mine during thunderstorms. The sister I loved wasn't gone. She was just buried under choices we didn't make. I twisted my silver ring, its welded band steady. My heart didn't race. It rested. Samantha's words weren't a promise of repair. They were a whisper of hope, that even broken things could shift, if only a little. I walked to my balcony, the Willamette glinting below. The photo stayed, a quiet nod to the girls we'd been. I was ready to keep walking forward. My story isn't a tragedy. It's an awakening, a hymn of courage sung softly. I am not who they forgot. I am who I've become. The clematis blooms in my heart, not their garden. The locket rests in my drawer, a memory, not a chain. The porch sways in my mind, but I'm no longer tethered. Forgiveness doesn't mean returning. It means no longer carrying the fire they lit. I forgave them, for them to live, and for me to finally sleep. One morning, Clara slipped a drawing under my door, a crayon sketch of me with my camera, her small handwriting saying, "Miss Emily, you make things pretty." I smiled, tears welling, and pinned it to my fridge, a reminder of the light I could share. I stood on my balcony, watering a new clematis plant, its green leaves reaching for the sun. Each drop was a promise, a life growing, rooted in my own soil. I twisted my silver ring, its welded band glinting, a quiet testament to my heart's repair. An envelope arrived that afternoon. Postmark Seattle. A gallery invited me to exhibit my photos, my images of Salem's quiet beauty chosen to tell a story of resilience. I held the letter, my heart soaring, the future unfolding like a new season. That Sunday, Clara, Ruth, and I walked along the Willamette Trail, the wind soft, the trees golden. Clara ran ahead, chasing a squirrel. Ruth held my arm, her steps slow but steady. "You always walk like you're holding the world together," she said with a smile. I looked up at the sun-dappled leaves. Maybe I don't have to anymore. In that moment, surrounded by women who had learned to live again, I felt it, the quiet joy of walking forward, not as a rescuer, but as myself. I am enough. I am free. And that is my legacy, a life of bravery, a story shared, a light for those still carrying too much. If you've ever carried a family too long, you're not alone. Let this story remind you, you are enough.